All right. So anyway, we're live. Welcome to Adventures with Captain Ray Kelly live. This is show number 10, and I'm glad you're all uh, in tonight. I have three great guests scheduled, um, and it should be a very interesting show. There's no doubt about it because all three of them are experienced drone pilots, and each and every one of them has their own story. And I'm sure we're going to learn a few things from each of them. But you know, I'm out in California, just to let you know. I'm visiting with my son and his wife, and he said, "Okay, Dad, you can do your live show." And they even bought me a light as a Christmas present. So I got a new light that I'm using, and I really appreciate. Actually, two lights, but I really appreciate that. And I had a great Christmas. I hope everybody else did also. Santa was very good to me, and I know a few people, received some drones probably for Christmas, and I want to wish each and every one of you safe flights and have fun flying them. Um, hey, Steve, how you doing? Let me welcome in some people. Um, because this show would not be successful if it wasn't for the viewers. And One Vision Ariel, how you doing? Mr. JRC's, how you doing? Steve Jones, all the way from Texas, good to see you. Scott, Jackrabbit, FPV, and of course Johnny Droneflyer, how you doing? Um, it's 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 uh, it's great to see everybody. Um, I I can't emphasize enough how happy I am to be here in California. I really felt bad telling my son I had to do this live stream, but he was okay with it. So and without and Dre just popped in. How you doing, Dre? Recovery One Drones. He's right out here in California, and I'm probably going to be flying with him maybe on Thursday. That's the tentative plan depending on weather and everything. And Missy, how you doing? All the way from North Palm Beach, Florida. Good to see everybody. But Yeah, it's raining. I know, Dre. I know it's raining here too. Um, but my son, we gave him and his wife an Air 2S drone for Christmas, and he had the original Mini, and they were flying that, and they were having fun flying that. But I figured I'd surprise him and ask him if he wanted an Air 2S for Christmas, and he said, "Yeah, sure." so, so he got it, and he's been flying that, and I've been flying the uh, the Mavic 3. I brought it all the way to California. I put it in my carry-on bag right here, um, but actually it was packed in my carry-on bag, and I've been flying this. We've been getting up at sunrise and flying, and we got quite a few flights in already. And I posted some of the pictures and videos already. But without further ado, I want to bring in our first guest, and that's John Bonenfant, and he's going to come to us all the way from Rhode Island. Hey, John, welcome.
How are you?
Good to see you. John is with the Rhode Island Drone Meetup group up there, and I first met him at the meetup that they had this past July. And I got to say, John, that was a great meetup. Don't you agree?
Good. Well put together.
Yeah. Mark and Michael Blade and all his helpers. I don't know if you helped at all putting it together, but I know I had a great time. And I know Lawrence Clark, he was in the chat earlier. I meant to welcome him. Always good to see Lawrence and him and Herman and me. And there were quite a few guys from New York that went to that meetup.
Perfect weather.
We had a great time. And John, tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, how you became involved with drones, and what.
I've always, back when I was little, I was always into RC cars, planes, you name it. If it was RC, I was really intrigued by it. Because photography is what I basically started out with. That's my first passion. So when I use a drone, I'd rather do photos than video. Probably about 20% video, 80% photos. I just love photography. But my first drone was actually this Achon Rise. Me and my wife, when I really wanted a non-toy, we were heading up to Maine, and I stopped at a hobby shop, and I'm like, oh, this is a really good one. Flew like junk.
Yeah, that one. You got to show everybody that drone again, because I've never seen one of them.
I think I got it. It's an Archon,
Yeah.
Rise.
Okay.
It was just a hobby shop. I said, I want something non-toy, and that's what they gave me. I came home, and because I'm near the airport, back then I didn't know I couldn't fly too high. It was tough to fly. Yep. I had the GPS, everything. So then I went out to the city park. Couldn't get a GPS signal. It was just all over the place. So I'm like, this is ridiculous. So then I started doing a search for a much better drone. That's when I came up. I bought the Mini one, and that thing was, it just hovered. It just hovered and did what you wanted it to. Returned to home, everything. So that's where I got hooked.
Okay, that's good. And how long have you been flying now?
About a year and a half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you picked it up pretty quick once you got a good drone.
Yeah. I was afraid to go over water, but that is far gone. So you have to come up with a conclusion that if it goes away, it's gone. If it goes in the water.
Right.
So once I accept that,
it never happened.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet, so I probably jinxed myself. But yeah. So it's been going off from there. So
I know I love flying over water, by water, not so much over water, but I go out there.
Yes.
And I'm, I consider myself a very, hey, Lauren, how you doing? All the way from Canada. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. But I fly a lot over water in Florida and down up in New York on Long Island. That's where I like to fly. And so far, knock on wood, we'll knock on wood here, I haven't lost any drones into the bays or the ocean. I've been very, very lucky. But I do remember one gentleman in Palm Beach when I took my Phantom 4 down there. That was my first real drone, a Phantom 4. And he was setting up his Phantom 4 at the time. And I gave him his time. But then after 15 minutes, I went over to him, and he wasn't flying yet. But, I picked his brain, and he was actually trying to chart a course. He was putting waypoints in.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know you could do that at the time, and he told me a story, is that this drone was his second drone. He says the other one is in the middle of the Intercoastal Waterway because he flew too low. He was only flying 3 feet above the water, and it ended up going in, and he lost it. So I always remember that story. So I always stay up at least 15, 20 feet above the water. What about you?
One time I was doing a sunrise with my camera before I had drones, and there was this guy that came. It's over by the Warwick Lighthouse, Warwick Lighthouse, and he just went up and he came over by me because I was on the breachway just getting some pictures of the lighthouse, and all of a sudden he zipped off. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. It's. So as I was packing up and leaving, he was packing up. I'm like, were you on the other side of the bay? He said, no, I was out at the lighthouse. I said, have you ever lost one? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So from like, you know what? I need to get into this. So that's where I really got the bug.
Yeah, yeah. I know. The other thing, the following year when I went back to Florida, Santa brought me a Mavic Mini, the original Mini. And I remember reading a post about how that drone will just descend when you're flying on water. And I always kept it about 15 feet, and I watched it on my maiden flight there. And sure enough, it started dropping.
Wow.
Luckily I had 15 feet, no problem, and I
Yeah.
just, started flying and went higher but it was a lesson to be learned. And you got to be very careful flying over water.
I usually try and stay about 100 feet.
Yeah. Well, that's where I like to fly to 100, 150. I
Yep.
find the video and the photography comes out better. Not that I'm an expert photographer. How about you? Do you like shooting photos or
Oh God,
video?
yes. Oh yeah. Oh, I
Hmm.
love it. And I always tell people that the drones takes my photography to a different level.
Now, were you a photographer prior to drones?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been right from the film era.
Oh, okay. So you got a lot of experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what's your preference on the type of photography that you like?
Landscape and wildlife. I've done a couple weddings for my friends, close friends, and brother. Never again. Never again.
Right, exactly. It's funny you say that because I did 1 or 2 weddings myself, and again, it was a favor to a friend,
Yeah.
and it seems like they're more critical. You do a favor, and they're more critical instead of being very grateful, But
I was
again, I had fun doing them, and, you know, but I won't get back into it, that's for sure, and I know Mark Fisher does them all the time.
oh my, where he comes up with these are phenomenal.
I know.
The in flights are my goal.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Mark is an incredible pilot. There's
Oh
no
yeah,
doubt about it. And by the way, let's all wish him get well soon.
absolutely.
Wishes because him and his wife have tested positive for COVID. So we wish Mark well, and everybody else who's affected by it too. And Johnny, please tell Bailey. Bailey, his granddaughter has it, and
Oh,
we're praying for her. Have you composed a bucket list of where you would like to fly, John?
mentally, yes.
Okay,
When I hear of people flying at a certain area, I'm like, yes, that's got to go on my list.
okay, yeah. And do you have like a number one that you want to get to someday?
Yes. Well, actually, it's a toss up between two. England, because my daughter lives out in England, and her and my youngest daughter have gone out to Stonehenge. So I think that would be pretty cool to fly out over Stonehenge.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Yeah. And all
Yeah,
the with the London Eye and the Big Ben, that would be cool to just fly around that stuff.
yeah,
And the other
yeah,
one, as we were talking about earlier, was Area 51. That would be so cool too.
yeah. Where is that? Is that in Pennsylvania or where is that?
No, that's out west.
Oh, okay. Shows you what I know. I know I did see a video about it, and it would be cool to fly there.
Yeah.
The other dream location for me is Ireland. I wanna go to
Oh yeah.
Ireland
Oh
someday
yeah.
and fly there, you know?
Yep.
But, you were one of the first people, by the way. I wanna thank you for signing up or telling me you're coming to the South Florida Drone Meetup,
Yep.
and, you booked your hotel already, you got your flights, and,
Yep.
I really appreciate that,
No, no
and there's
problem.
so many. We have 61 people that say they're coming.
Wow.
Um, so it's
Well,
gonna be a great meetup. And again, I
I'm
wanna thank, you and the Rhode Island Drone Meetup. You took up a special collection, and you guys are donating the Mini 2 drone as a raffle prize, and that means a lot to us.
Yep. No, Mark is he comes up with all this stuff, and we fully wholeheartedly support him.
No, no, it's great. It really is. Um, and just to let everybody know, Chris Hope, he was on his way home. He'll be joining us shortly.
Cool.
Uh, and our other special guest, Dennis Lovelady, hopefully he'll be joining us also. But have you always lived in Rhode Island, John?
Born and raised.
Oh, okay.
As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, I live in my grandparents' house.
Oh, okay. Family home.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's at the end of the runway.
That's great. When you say the end of the runway, what do you mean?
about 100 yards away from the runway.
What is it? TF Green Airport or
Yep.
whatever?
Yep, Providence Airport. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you're in a zero fly zone.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, you got to be careful then. Obviously, you can't fly there, but you know, where do you usually fly when you fly up there in Rhode Island?
Well, that's the other part of it. When I did get my drones, I knew of a couple spots that I could fly. So I just did a search on Facebook for Rhode Island drones. And I found Ridmug, and I'm like, I need to join this because I need other places to fly. And you know what? I am not short of places right now. So, but I usually fly the Warwick Lighthouse is a favorite spot. And Rocky Point, you spin old Rocky Point Amusement Park. That's a fun place to fly. They just built a new dock, so people fish off of it. So it's a wide open field. So it's interesting to fly around and see some of the old amusement rides.
Well, I know one thing. I was impressed when I went up there to the meetup and we got to fly, and I was impressed with Rhode Island flying.
Yeah.
And I'll be back. I know you guys are going to have another one in 2022. The date hasn't been picked yet, but I'll definitely be there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So listen, I'm not trying to cut you off, but I see somebody else in the back room.
Sounds
so
good.
I'm going to bring him in, and he's going to come to us all the way from Georgia.
Hey,
that's Lovelady. Welcome.
Howdy.
How
this is our first time to be on the. Who are we talking to here, Ray?
Okay, this is John Bonanfon. He's from Rhode Island.
Hi, John.
How are you?
Good. Nice to meet you, sir.
I gave John a little background about you and your sunrise flights and your.
Oh, okay. All lies, I hope. All good stuff, right?
But thank you for joining us tonight. You know,
I can only join for a short time. It's been a hectic day, but thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate it. And I was telling him how, you came down to Florida and we flew together in Florida, you and I.
We did. And I had a great time. And you showed me so many sites around there, around Jasper and so on at the Turtle Museum.
Secret spots, secret locations.
Yeah, the secret location, the secret bee location, and the secret turtle location, and the secret lighthouse location. He showed me theoretically all of his secrets. So
I'm telling you. Well, Dennis, I really love watching your sunrise flights. You sing and you play ukulele, and you request songs from people, and I do request a lot of songs as you play them. I want to say,
yeah, my pleasure. It makes it easier when when people out there say, "This is what I want to hear." Because I'm trying to figure out, okay, what are they going to, they won't like this. They won't like that. I wonder if they'll like this, So, it's better the other way.
And I see Thomas, Ariel's is in the chat. How you doing, Thomas? All the way from
Tomas.
Howdy. Hat Maker, good to see you too. Welcome. And Crypto Man, how you doing? JSK, Leonard, good to see you. Hope Santa was good to you. But Dennis, a lot of people know you. A lot of people in the chat, on my chat, don't know you. So maybe you could tell people a little bit about yourself and how you became involved with drones.
Okay, well, I'm Dennis Lovelady, and I got involved with drones because a friend from church and he has a Phantom 1, and I think a Phantom 2, and at the time that we started talking about this, the Mavic Pro had been announced, but was not yet available. You could pre-order it. And so he said, you should really think about doing this sort of thing. And I've been a computer technician all my life. I wasn't into RC cars and that sort of thing. But anyway, so he got me talked into it, and I ordered the Mavic Pro. Pre-ordered the Mavic Pro, and I was one of the first, of the normal group, not those who get the pre version, right? But I was one of the first on December 24th, 2016, it arrived at my doorstep. Yeah, so I've been flying drones ever since. So for 5 years, almost, pardon me while I take off my coat and my jacket. It's warm in here.
Yeah, you're back at your home, right? You're not at Lake
I
Lanier.
am. Yeah, it's been a hectic day. We're finally sitting down to. My wife is eating dinner here next to me. She said, "Don't show me, don't show me." So I'm not going to do that.
Tell her I said hello, though.
She said, Ray said hello, Captain Ray.
But anyway.
Oh, hello, she says. All right. So
Okay.
anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. And I got to start meeting people and so on, and I made a pretty strong bond with Drone Bum, Drone Bum about 4 years ago or so started doing a Sunday every Sunday morning at sunrise. He would do a live stream. It didn't always involve the drone, but often it did. And so then later on, I got a chance to meet him and Philly Drone Life, Mikey, if anybody knows him. And I went to meet Drone Bum at Jones Beach on a Sunday morning, and we did a surprise sunrise. Anyway, we were talking about how cool it would be if we followed the sun from New York, Philadelphia, Georgia, and we didn't think beyond that point. We thought, well, that'd be really cool. Let's do that every Sunday. And so I don't know whose idea it was. It wasn't mine. But anyway, so it's just grown from there. We still start in New York, and or on Saturdays now. It grew into Saturdays as well. Saturdays, Rodney Bell starts it out in Virginia, but yeah, so we just kind of follow the sunrise from the East Coast to the not quite to the left coast, to the West Coast, but maybe someday it'll go to there. We've tried Colorado, a couple of false steps that didn't work, but
well, the sunrise out here is a lot later, earlier rather.
Yeah, right. Right.
So. But I tell you, if I was good at live streaming, I would have filmed live the 2 sunrise flights that I did with my son yesterday and today.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing. It really was,
Oh, that's great.
I need more practice at it, and the live on with an Apple device, the audio is not good. So
right. Now, are you near the ocean?
Yeah, we're very close to the ocean. Yeah.
So sunsets where you are the thing, right? So that ideally, if you could capture some sunsets, because you're looking to the west, right, to see the ocean.
Yeah, we did that too. Yeah, we did that.
Yeah, that's great. That's good. But I mean, even if you don't live near an ocean, a body of water, whatever, Chris has a body. I don't have a body of water here. You can still make it somewhat special. The sunrise can still be beautiful and amazing. So yeah. But that water, for some reason, is a special enhancement.
Oh yeah,
always is.
Yeah. I'm going to try something new just to let you guys know. I have your graphics up, so I'm going to flash them.
You're going to flash us?
That way, everybody will know. I mean, you have them on your screen anyway, so I don't have to. But John, back to you. Are you looking forward to coming down to the South Florida Drone Meetup?
Oh yeah. Just to get away and fly new places.
Right. And have you ever been to that area of Florida?
No, usually we go to Orlando, Walt Disney World, but that's the furthest south.
Yeah. And Dennis, I think you're looking forward to coming down if everything works out, right?
I am, yeah, but I don't see any reason that won't happen. That's a very short drive for me.
Wow.
So,
yeah. How long is it for you?
Well, to Jupiter's about 9 hours, but I think where you are is about 8. I mean, no, that's not a short drive. Like let's go to Jupiter today, but it's still not that bad. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I absolutely intend to have every intention of being there.
Dennis, you know, I invited you on because I like you, first of all, you know. But
Yeah, but you want to use me. I
you
get
got
it. I get it.
a Christmas present, didn't you? Like
I
this,
I did.
this
I did,
Mavic
and I
3.
had it for almost a week.
And if you want to tell anybody, it's up to you, how you like it or whatever. If you want to share the story, it's up to you.
Okay, my experience with it hasn't been that fantastic so far. It had two flights, right? The first flight, I put it up on, I don't remember, Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday. But anyway, the day after I got it, I put it up just to do a little bit of practicing with the camera and so on. And it just happened to be just before sunrise, so I put it up. I shot, I didn't go live with it, but I shot the sunrise, you know, took some photographs, took some pictures and so on. Saw that incredible zoom. Nice, you know, but that was flight number one. Then flight number two was this past Saturday. And I think pretty much everybody knows what happened there, but I'll tell my side of the story, which is very limited, by the way, because my focus when I do these things is not on the drone, as it should be. It should be absolutely I'm the pilot and responsible and so on, but this is what I do, right? So I was playing my ukulele, right? So, but I put the craft in a particular place in the sky, pointed in a particular direction, and I expect it to stay there. And I think that expectation is reasonable given that it's a DJI craft. But anyway, I'm responsible still. I readily admit that, but I have certain expectations. Anyway, so it turned out after a certain amount of time that it's all a mystery to me. I haven't reviewed the video yet, but for whatever reason, that craft drifted far away from where it had started out. And I'm thinking 200 to 300 feet off to my left. And the flight, when I reviewed the flight record, I know a lot more, but I think a flight record will show that it had been maybe 50 feet away from me, and without anybody touching any controls, it was much further away. That's what I expect to see in the flight record. But anyway, I brought it back, and everything was fine after I finally located it. That was a little bit of a worry. But and I'm making the story longer than it needs to be, but I'm trying to give all the information that I know, which is sketchy, right? But anyway, I brought it back to where there was like a canopy of trees of an open spot, and put it right in the middle of that canopy of trees, so it was right where I could see it if I happened to look that way. And so, and by the way, I was standing right next to the home point. So if it needed to return to home,
Right.
it would come right past me through that canopy. That was the plan anyway. And I even took the camera during the live stream. I took the camera and pointed at it and said, see, it's right there. You know, that doesn't prove that it took off from there, but trust me, that's where it took off from.
Right.
And, but anyway, so then I started singing songs and playing the ukulele or whatever. And then I noticed it was returning to home. Now I didn't hear that it had warned me. It probably did, but I didn't hear it. And so the next thing I know is it's trying to navigate through a tree. And it got stuck in that tree. That's the bottom line. So
it was a good video, by the way. I enjoyed watching it. I felt bad for you. I really felt so bad.
Well, I wasn't real happy about it myself, but what are you going to do, you know? But I'm glad you liked the video. Thank you for that. But I still have yet to see it. I do want to, because I want to figure out what's gone wrong. But to complete the story, I went there this morning with a 30-foot pole. Yes, I am. And I knocked it out of the tree. We had hoped to catch it with a blanket, but the blanket wasn't in the right place, and it dropped in a second, right? So because 30 feet, 32 feet per second, it had hit the ground before anybody could react, and it broke the gimbal.
Okay.
So, and so somebody suggested, well, why don't you take it to, I'm sorry, I said that was today, but it was yesterday. It was the day after Christmas. Anyway, so Yeah, somebody said, well, you should take it back to Best Buy. I was going to send it to DJI, but I said, well, you got a point. The thing seems to be defective. So I did. I took it back to Best Buy today, and they don't have another one in stock, but they said they will send me one. I should get it Wednesday.
Oh,
And so
good.
there
That's
you go.
great
There was
news.
no argument at all from them. I said, I've been flying these things for 5 years and I pretty
Yeah.
much know what I'm doing. I've made mistakes and I have crashed, but this time the drone crashed itself, and I really don't understand why. But I said, I wasn't paying it enough attention. I told him all the truth. And he said, we'll cover it. And just,
That says a lot for Best Buy. That's
it
good. I'm so
does. It
happy for you,
does.
Dennis. You'll get a
Yeah.
replacement with, that's
Yeah.
great. Great
And,
news.
and
I'm sorry it
yeah.
happened,
Yeah.
I felt bad. I was so glad when I saw you had a Mavic 3.
Right.
And I know when you get the new one, you're going to end up loving it, right?
Yeah, well, my reason for having it is, it's kind of a long story in itself. But basically, I was flying a live stream on Saturday, and my Zoom stopped working. The video transmission stopped working on that, so that drone was out. And by the way, I tried calibrating that, and the vision sensors are shot. It won't calibrate, so it's going
Oh,
back to DJI. But then the next day, I was flying the only drone I had left, which was the Mavic 2 Mini, and for whatever reason, I think a bird hit it. For whatever reason, it came crashing down to the ground, and it's out of commission. So I had no drones. That was basically. So it was a matter of either waiting it out, with DJI, which could be weeks, or which would be weeks for sure, or
yeah.
buying
Well, people
something
in the
new.
chat are
So,
already saying that that's great,
yeah.
And we're happy for you. Michael Blade thinks Best Buy is the best. So
Yeah.
that's good. You'll be flying it again shortly. There's no doubt about it. John has more experience flying it than I do, right? John, you have the Mavic 3.
Yeah, I've only got maybe half a dozen flights because of this drifting issue. I've been a little hesitant, and flyaways. Mark was saying I think Mark just had a bad drone, but it until the update comes out, it's a little scary.
Yeah, see, Dennis.
I did.
The issue.
I have been so very poor about watching YouTube lately. I've probably spent in the past 3 weeks, I've probably spent a couple of hours watching YouTube. I hit videos of a few people, and I will watch them to the end, no matter how long they are. But because of that, most people don't get watched. But the other thing is that I've not gone out seeking videos about Mavic 3 at all, right? So this was news to me. I didn't know about the drift. Shame on me. I should keep up. There's a lot of shame on me's in here. I know that I'm responsible, right? But anyway, it is what it is. This is how it all came out.
No, it's good. It's good. Michael Kelly, how you doing? Cover State Aerial Photography. Good to see you. But anyway, Dennis, it's an interesting story. I didn't want to put you on the spot, but we sort of talked about it ahead of time.
Oh no, I
shared it.
It's
Maybe,
great. Yeah, I was willing to do this, so
people can learn.
But I wanted the full story out because.
And now they heard it from you, right out of your mouth, rather than.
And the good news is that as of
there.
Wednesday, this should all be behind us. So there are a lot of little side stories, about trying to do this and trying to do that. But that's the gist. That's the overall perspective of from beginning to end what took place. So
how you doing, Stevie? Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, but hopefully you'll have it back and you'll bring it to the South Florida Drone Meetup. And John, you're going to bring yours, I hope.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll all have a good time flying them.
Well, I'll certainly bring something.
But it's one of those things where accidents do happen,
Oh yeah,
no doubt about it.
I've had my share. Paul, in fact, Drone Bum says that I've beat his record by now of crashed drones. So he doesn't actually crash them. He just lands them in the water, somewhere where they're not retrievable. I go a step further, I guess.
Well, I know I watched a couple of Pauls, and I was on the edge of my seat on one of them, when he tried to fly out to that freighter, a cargo ship. Did you ever see that one?
I did. That was,
And John, do you have any crash stories or anything you want to share?
And that's my fear, is that I'm probably at some point going to, and that scares me.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about the toy drones earlier, and you know, the toy drone was so hard for me to fly, you know, and the thing, you know, wouldn't go where it was supposed
Yep.
to, and the wind would take it.
Exactly.
And it set me back 3 years. I wasn't about to go try to fly a real drone
Right.
when I couldn't even fly this toy.
Right.
You know? But
Well,
I got to say, DJI drones, I love them. I really do.
Yeah.
And I don't want to come across as an expert in them. I just love them. They're easy for me to fly.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it was around August or so that I finally signed up for the Mavic 2, for the Mavic Pro, the original Mavic Pro. And like I said, it was delivered in December. So in that interim, I tried a little mini drone. It was the JJRC H2O or H2O, I think it's called. But anyway, I liked that, but I couldn't control it very well. And then I went with the Hubsan H501S. And that I really liked. But on the first day, or maybe not the first day, but during the first week or so of flying that thing, that also landed in a tree. But that was completely my fault. I put it in that tree, you know. So
You got it back though, right?
yeah, I paid a tree guy to get it out. It cost me
Oh, a tree guy. You had to call it a tree guy on that one?
Yeah, that was way up, and it was 80 feet off the ground, and you know, way up there. So
people were offering all kind of suggestions to you.
Yes,
you know,
and I appreciate that.
Call the fire department. You know, maybe they'll send somebody out.
I did that. Did I tell you I did that?
Yeah, yeah.
I called the. You couldn't. I couldn't figure out which fire department it was, and you can't call anyway. I did call the number that was listed, and that's to the tax office. You know, the county offices. That's no good. You know, if you want something done right now, so especially on a Sunday. So then I called the sheriff's department, not 911, but I called the sheriff's department, and she, I trust that she actually gave me a fair shake. You know, she put me on hold, and she came back to me about 3 minutes later. She said, "I'm sorry, but they say they can't help you." You know,
right.
So
they tried.
I appreciate that, but yeah. So in my case, the fire department was not an answer, and of course, it was the day after Christmas. Nobody.
No.
You know, is going to come out and you know, especially since I wasn't willing to say, look, you know, this is a very expensive drone. No, I just said, I have a drone in a tree, and I wondered if somebody could come out and help me get it out. And they're probably picturing $100 drone. Now we're not going to do it.
Right.
Because you know, it's not worth anybody's time for us to do that. But I wasn't going to give them more information.
That's the bottom line. I'm glad you got it back. Right. I'm glad Best Buy is replacing it for you. You know. So that's great. Yeah. Hey, Maddie, good to see you. Maddie's Drone World.
Hey, Maddie. Maddie's trying to connect with me, but it hasn't happened yet. I'll give you a call after dinner here.
Yeah, Maddie. Yeah, I know. So many people were concerned for you, Dennis. They really were.
That support has meant so much to me. It
but
truly
Dennis,
has.
I know. I ask most of my guests this same question, and if you had a dream location someday.
Yeah, you know, I've heard that question many times. I think one of mine is Thailand. I would really like to fly in Thailand.
That's cool.
There are some amazing. Well, I'd like to go to Thailand, right? And if we go to Thailand, I'd like to fly there.
Flying there. He just got his Thailand license, drone license, and he's Robbie Grant, World Drone Community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one. And another one, ironically, is Hawaii, where we will be in about 3 weeks. So I get to fulfill that dream. So I hope, assuming that I have a drone by that time. We don't know. But
hey, Sean, how you doing, Mr. Crowley? Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Drone Life RC, good to see you.
But yeah, I think those two are dream locations for me.
No, that's great. That's great. I know, it's always, I have a list. I don't have it right in front of me now, but I do have an actual list that has locations on them, but this piece of paper, this has the lucky color on.
Aha. Oh, there's a lucky color today.
Half of the people are only trying to win my hat, that I'm going to give away at the end of the month.
Only half? That's pretty good.
But anyway, no, thank you for sharing that story, Dennis. Really,
Well, thank you for letting me. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
And I know Chris was on his way home from work, so I don't know,
yes.
tied up in traffic.
I'm
but-
very sorry I was late. You did give me enough warning and so on, but my mind's not. My mind's
it's
been
funny,
elsewhere
not
today.
funny, but when you're doing the live streams and you send out the links, you always hope and pray that the people get them,
Right.
And
No, I got the link. I just wasn't paying attention. But anyway, we're here now, so that's all good.
yeah. Sean, no, I'm in California right now, just to let you know. I'm visiting my son and his wife. We're here until January 6th, and then I'll be back in Florida. Yep. So anyway, we'll I sort of let the cat out of the bag, so we might as well let people pick the color. And
Are you going with
gotta
like
pick right
mauve
now.
and chartreuse and those sorts of things, or are you just staying to primaries? How does this work?
she's got to pick a color, and you guys are eligible too because you don't know. And I know it's only a hat, but
Don't say it's a Ray Kelly hat.
That's right.
Those things are.
Right.
That's right. It's valuable.
So, and we'll just let some come in, and
Well, I got to pick something that's not already in the chat here, so I'm going to go with.
but
this.
somebody already has the right color.
Oh, well.
Just to let people know.
Oh, somebody already does.
Yeah, somebody already picked it.
Oh, okay, cool.
And Dennis, it's not purple.
Okay.
So you can tell that it's not fixed, folks. It's not fixed. But the color is red. Just to let everybody know, the color is red. I think it was
Cool.
Mike Roche Media. He put it in there first.
Hey, Mike Roach.
Give it to him.
Congratulations. That's a good hat.
His name goes in the hat, and then we do the drawing out of the hat.
So
Anyway,
the hat's used.
thank you all for participating in that.
It's a used hat.
Yeah, this hat. Yeah. No, we actually I just ordered a new batch, so.
No, I mean you put the numbers in the hat and then you give away the hat, so the hat's been used
Exactly.
to hold the numbers.
I know.
No, that's great. Congratulations, Mike B.
Congratulations,
Mike
Michael Roche. Good. I'm glad your name's going to go in for the drawing.
I'm being told that I have to go.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, Ray.
Thank you for popping in.
I appreciate you letting me tell my story, and I'll join you again. I promise when things are a little bit less hectic.
All right. Well, thank you, Dennis. Appreciate it. All
Nice
right.
I
meeting
love
you,
you, and thanks for all that support. I know it's tremendous, and that goes to the people in the chats as well. I really, really, I can't overstate how important that is to me. Thank you.
Okay. And I'll see you shortly. I'll see you in April.
All right. Bye-bye now.
All right. Thank you. So anyway, that's the story. You didn't know that Dennis was going to be sharing that story, right, John?
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. And it's good that he shared it because people can learn, from his experience.
Yeah.
And it wasn't to embarrass him by any means, And I remember when I got the word, I immediately watched it because I didn't see it live at the time. So I did watch the replay, and everything was going great. And I said, "Oh, cool! Dennis has got the Mavic 3 drone. I'm happy for him, But accidents happen. But he got it back, and he's going to get a new one. So that's the bottom line,
Yeah.
But I love mine. I really do. And I'm not trying to show it off or nothing like that. But I'm very happy and thankful to Kelly Shores and Spin Up, because I won this drone, as you know, and a lot of people in the chat know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I was the lucky winner at Spin Up, and this was the top prize. And I didn't even feel worthy of it, to be honest with you.
What was going through your head when they called your name?
that I wasn't going to win. I really thought, somebody else would win. And when I almost fell off the chair, I really did. But I love it. I was so happy with my Air 2S. I was flying that, and it's just I'm touched by it all. So, so how many drones do you have in your fleet, John?
Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I started with the Mini 1, and then I went up to the Air 2, and that was day and night. I felt a lot more comfortable with the bigger drone. And then I bought the DJI FPV. Yes, I know, got a lot of flack, but I don't go into the manual mode yet. I just love enjoying it on sport mode. And then I went Autel, and then I went with the Mavic 3. I'm waiting for the smart controller to come in Thursday.
Oh, you're getting it. Okay, good.
I've been tossing around. It was either that or wait for the Nano Plus, and they just took their time getting it out there, so they lost the sale.
I know when I met you at the Rhode Island Drone Meetup, you had the Autel with you, right?
Oh yeah,
I remember right. Yeah, and you were an Autel guy, and Rob Kamada, he's in the chat. He's an Autel pilot too, and I was always told that Autel has great drones, and it's going to be interesting to see how these nanos turn out when people start receiving them and flying them.
Yeah.
You didn't bother to order a nano, did you?
No, I pre-ordered the Autel smart controller, and that took 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
So I said I won't do that again.
Okay. So you had to wait for that. Yeah. So apparently that's the issue. Yeah. The shipping and delivery of the drones when you order them.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad to hear that you enjoy your Mavic 3 so far.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I've been limiting the flights because of all the issues. So I'm going to wait for this update to come out this month. Now,
are you Part 107?
I'm in the middle of studying for it with Pilot Institute.
Okay, like me. Yep. Same thing with me.
I'm on the regs part of it, so I'm kind of procrastinating.
Yeah, exactly. I tell you, I'm learning, taking that course. I'm learning.
Yeah.
And I hope to be in the next, I guess, couple of weeks. I'll finish it up. Wow. Put my mind to it seriously. Right now, it's not serious.
And the videos are short enough where you're not bogged down with long videos.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. And I see that we got our third guest. He's in the back room. Hopefully you left him some potato chips. And I'm going to bring in Chris Hope. He comes to us all the way from Texas. How you doing, Chris?
Hey, Chris.
How you doing, Ray? Sorry.
Good to see you.
Man, I'm outside. I just got home from work and thought I'd get on right quick.
Well, thank you. Thank you for coming. I figured you'd be on your way home from work,
Sorry.
So how was your Christmas?
It was good. We got to I got to see the grandkids and my kids, and my niece got COVID, so we didn't go to my sister's house for lunch or anything. We just kind of hung out at home.
Right. Okay. Well, it's good that your family got together. Most of them, anyway. And that's a big thing. I'm out here in California, spending the time with my son and daughter-in-law, and we're having a good time out here. Chris, I got other people in the chat. Most people know you, but I got to know you. When I saw that you did your sunrise flights on Sunday morning, and I was so impressed when I first started watching them. How did and Dennis sort of told the story, but I really enjoy you doing the sunrise flights.
Well, I appreciate it, Ray. It's something fun that we get to do. We get to follow Paul and Rodney. Rodney will get back in it when Paul and their sunrises aren't so close together. Of course, Dennis and Roosevelt, myself, I have fun doing it. I like to read y'all about the little excerpts from the roadside markers we got here in Texas. They're pretty cool. Most of them are. Some are just bland as all get out, but some have a little story behind them.
I know, and you know, I find them so interesting, and I know you're having a hard time hearing, so I'll try to talk up. But Chris, you fly a Phantom 4, correct?
Yes, sir. Phantom 4. It's shoot, man, it's nearly, I guess, August it'll be 6 years old.
Wow.
So it's old like us.
It's been a good bird though for you.
Yes, yeah, it's been a great bird.
Yeah, yeah. Now, was that your first bird, that drone that you bought?
That's the first one. I bought a couple from Walmart, of course, to play with. But that was my first. That's my first GPS drone. I bought the Mavic Mini when it first come out, a couple 2 or 3 years ago, and it's okay. But I like the Phantom.
Yeah,
the Mini's for convenience. It's so little you can carry it anywhere.
Right. You know, another thing, Chris, that a lot of people in the chat probably don't know is that you produce your videos called 2 Minutes of Hope. You know,
Yes,
and they are great. They really are. And
Yeah, I enjoy.
How you got involved with that?
Yeah, Kelly got me started on that. He asked me to do it. Shoot, I guess June was a year ago, and I play him on his show, and then I'll turn around and play him on. I'll run it on mine the next day.
I know.
Something to break his show up a little bit about halfway through.
Yeah, no, it's great. They are, and your content that you usually film and you know you make and your videos, I think it's great. It really is, and it's short, 2 minutes, and you know they're just great.
Everybody's got something different to tell, and I try to spread it out and just try to make it different. I still haven't done one for January yet, but I already got in my mind what I'm going to do. So it's not too complicated.
And it premieres on Kelly's show first.
Yeah. He always gets the first 2 minutes of hope run on his, and I do it the next day.
Right. I know, it's great. I look forward to it.
Yeah,
I really do. You know, you're in the process of building a home or renovating a home too, right? If you want to
renovate my grandparents, I bought my grandparents' place, and that's where I've been today, and that's why I'm late getting home. I actually was working up there today. I'm not a carpenter, so it's taking me. I've got a carpenter hired, but it's taken me a while to. I've done a bunch of it myself, but I'm not an expert at it, and I don't want to be screwed up when I move into it.
Right. Do you have a date when you might complete it?
Well, it was Christmas.
Oh, okay.
So we've missed that. I'm gonna say hopefully by the end of March.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm waiting on stuff to come. I still got a few things ordered, waiting on stuff to come in. I got some windows ordered. I won't be here till the end of January.
Oh, okay. There's delays in getting obviously some of the parts, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Ooh, my iPad is horrible for sound tonight.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. That's why I'm ducking my head down here to hear you, Ray, because I can't hear you.
And I know it's getting dark for you too, you know. But anyway, California, just to let Michael know, California is great. I'm really having a good time out here, Michael, visiting my son and daughter-in-law, and we're flying and we're having a good time.
It'll spoil you like Florida will, won't it?
Excuse me, Chris?
It will spoil you like Florida will.
Exactly. The past 2 mornings, Chris, me and my son, and we got up to and flew sunrise flights. We didn't fly them live like you do, but we were flying sunrise flights and sunset flights too.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Cool.
we're getting a lot of flying in, you know.
I'm sorry, Ray.
We're getting a lot of flying in.
Hey, man, go live. That's what you ought to do. You there? You're not going to be. That's not like you live there every day. Just pop up and go live one morning.
Yeah, we're gonna fool with that. We will definitely. You know.
Yeah, especially before you leave, go back to nasty old Florida you live in during the winter.
Yeah, exactly. and Thomas is asking what part of California? Los Angeles, Thomas. Yep, Thomas. Yeah.
Thomas.
And I might be flying with Dre. The plan is to fly with Dre, Recovery One Drones, and Steve Carpenter on Thursday.
I was gonna say you're flying off the East Coast, off the West Coast over there, Steve. Dana Point Harbor. I don't know how close you are to that.
Yeah, it's about an hour away.
There you go.
and I think Dre is about an hour east of us. So hopefully we'll get together. Hopefully the weather and everything will cooperate.
Right. Well, let's hope so.
You know, but Chris, do you have like a bucket list of some place you want to fly someday? Some place you really want to get to fly a drone?
You know, there's several places in just around here that you can't fly. There's an old motel in Mineral Wells, Texas. I love that motel. I'd like to fly, but I can't. They won't let you fly there because it's in class B airspace actually. 100 foot is all you can fly, and they're real picky about flying in downtown, so it's not even worth the effort to try. As far as country, I'd love to go to Argentina and fly.
Oh, Argentina.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, of course, that's a bucket list item for sure.
Well, that's the first time we heard Argentina. Yeah. Okay. That's good.
Yeah. Sorry, man. It's I'm having a hard time hearing.
I'm sorry. I understand.
Oh, it's not you. It's the iPad, and this is a new iPad, and I don't understand why the speaker won't just blow me out of my chair.
Oh, really? Okay. I know I had an issue with my speakers on my iPhone, but my iPad works good most of the time. John, back to you, sir.
Okay.
You know, I want to say thank you again for coming to the South Florida Drone Meetup. Chris, I hope you can make it. You know, it was fun flying with you when we got to meet you in Texas. You know,
that was a good trip. That's a good time for sure. You don't have that kind of weather hardly. It's been in the mid 80s and low upper 70s the last 5 or 6 days here, so it's crazy.
Yeah. No, that's good. I hope you can make it. I really do. We got 60.
Well, I appreciate it, Ray. I'll do my best, man.
Got 61 people that say they're coming, and we're gonna have a good time. Hey, David Lorenzo, thank you for coming in. We're almost ready to shut it down, but thank you for coming in. And Chris, I really appreciate you coming on.
You bet, Ray. Everybody in chat, I can't see you, but it's good to see you guys. And I'm gonna let you go, Ray. I can't hardly hear, dude.
Okay, all right. Good to see you, Chris. And I look forward to you.
John, it's nice to meet you, buddy.
Nice to meet you, Chris.
Right. Happy New Year, Chris.
Happy New Year.
All right. So anyway, John, we're just about wrapping it up because we got a great lineup of drone shows that come on Monday night, and that's World Drone Community comes around right after I end at 7 p.m. with Robbie Gray and Al, and then we got Drone Nation at 9 p.m. with Ron Brown and Marcus Crawford, and the Grumpy Vlogger also is on at 8 o'clock tonight. You know, it's a busy night.
So many good ones.
And it's hard to keep track. I also watch Profiling Evil. It's not a drone show. It's a show about true crime. Oh, yeah. He's on it at 8 o'clock also with Mike King, and that's a great live stream. But you know, if anybody wants the live stream guide, Johnny will be more than happy to mail you a copy, or I will too. You know, if you want to contact me, and we'll email it to you. But it's a great way to keep track of all the shows. And I just want to wish everybody, you know, a happy New Year, happy, healthy New Year. You know, and John, if you want to say your closing thoughts, you can now.
Well, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. I wish everybody else also a happy New Year, 2022. And I hope I get to meet a lot of people in the chat that I just see their names, but I don't have faces to them. So I'm looking forward to the Southern Florida meetup.
Well, I know it's going to be a good time, and I want to thank you again for coming, you know, and thank you for being a guest on the show tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You know, and everybody in the chat, just to let you guys know, I really appreciate you watching the show and coming in, sharing your comments. It means a lot, believe me. I don't get to highlight all of them, but I do my best. But I want to wish everybody a happy New Year, healthy New Year. Mm-hmm. Fly your drones, get out there and fly them for fun, fly safely, and just have a good time with them. And there's old farts with drones. How you doing, Bob? Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Last minute, but always good to see you, sir. So until I'll see you again next week. We'll be on the same time. And John, thank you again for being a guest. All right. And if you want to stay in the back room, I'm just going to say good night to everybody. And we'll see you next week. Happy New Year, everybody.